When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports, and even entertainment. Join us weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
A lot has been happening with the Nigerian economy, coming in from what the presidency really said, that it looks like Nigerians are not suffering enough because of a comment that was made by one of the spokesperson of the presidency, Bayo Ononuga. He came out and made a bold statement saying that the inflation rate of 33.95% is not staggering enough for the Nigerian economy, and that we shouldn't blow it out of proportion. I guess that they really want inflation rates to be triple digits. And if it's triple digits, we're talking about 100%, 120%. And if you look at the distance between Nigeria and Zimbabwe, then I guess your guess is as good as mine that if care is not taken, we just might be towing the path towards what the Zimbabwean economy is currently experiencing. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very much welcome to the Business Hour. Let's go straight into what we have for today. But before we go further, we're going on a short break. When we come back, we're going to be addressing all the issues making the rounds in the world of business. My name is Frank Pagbo. Imagine a market scene in Lagos where traders are cautiously optimistic, seeing slight drops in prices of staple foods like garri and rice. This scene reflects the presidency's message of hope amidst challenging economic times. And what is really happening? The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, claims the inflation rate of 33.695% is not alarming. Ononuga spoke on an interview noting a slight month-to-month reduction in inflation. Food prices are reportedly declining and also contributing to positive outlook. Economic challenges largely attributed to conditions inherited by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. And I guess that one of the trademark of someone who you feel is not ready to put in the work to fix problems is throwing blames. And I see no reason why this current administration should be in the business of throwing blames. You're saying that it was inherited. And as a matter of fact, we all know the decadence that the Nigerian economy was before this present administration came into the playing field. And everyone should be responsible. We should be responsible. Own up to your responsibility. I think that's the big question. That is the big statement making the rounds around Nigeria. Nigerians are saying, stop trading blame. Stop saying that the problem of Nigeria is based on what the previous administration did. Own up to your responsibility. And as a matter of fact, it's even the same party. It's still APC. So there's no reason why we should be in the business of trading blames and saying that, oh, it's because of the condition that was inherited by this present administration and we should cut them some slack. As a matter of fact, you knew the demand of the job before taking the job. And so there is no reason why there should be any complaints. But then there are a lot of reforms introduced, including a student loan scheme to support higher education. Ononuga emphasizes the citizens emphasizes that the citizens will soon see the benefits of these measures. The big question is, when are citizens going to see the benefits of these measures? When you make bold statements, it's also good to add the time, put a timeline to it, because Nigerians are not, I'm not sure Nigerians are ready to suffer for the next 4 years or perhaps for the next 8 years. Nigerians need a timeline to when all this current economic crunch that we're experiencing is going to come to an end. If we can put a timeline to it, then I'm sure the whole chaos happening, Nigerians are going to be calm, and definitely things are going to bounce back to normal. But you don't just say that, okay, things are going to bounce back to normal without putting a timeline to when all these current policies, all the current macroeconomic policies that the government has been putting in place, FX, floating of the FX, so many policies that have been put in place regarding macroeconomic index to just bring down and make things better for the common man, because that is what we've been talking about. We need to make sure things are better for the common man, coming in from inflation, because it's now becoming a luxury for Nigerians to be able to afford a basic meal, and that shouldn't be the case at any point in time. We have vast farmland. We have all it takes to be able to feed ourselves. If not what is happening to our farms, the current insecurity situation currently bedeviling our farmers. If we don't fix that, food inflation is still going to keep on skyrocketing. And we need to make sure we address these issues. Let's move on to some other stories. But this time around, we're coming in from the agri sector. Oil palm producers urge states and local government to restrict foreign ownership of plantations. So here is the catch. What is happening is that oil palm producers are trying to make sure they regulate the supply chain of that particular industry. And if you can regulate the supply chain of any industry, definitely you'll be in control of the price, you'll be in control of the availability of that particular product. And it looks like that is what is happening to the oil palm producers in this country. Visualize rural communities bustling with activities as local farmers manage oil palm plantations, hoping for better economic opportunities. The MPPAN has called the need for state governors, for local government chairmen, to protect their communities from being sidelined by foreign investors. And these are the people responsible for producing our palm oil, our darling palm oil that we use to prepare vast majority of our soups in this country, and it's in top demand in the pharmaceutical industry. Apart from the fact that it is used, it's also in top demand in the pharmaceutical industry and also the manufacturing sector. And right now, the association responsible for producing palm oil, they've come out and they've told, they're addressing the government, addressing state and local government to restrict foreign companies from owning oil palm plantations. It should be owned by indigenous companies in this country, not foreign companies. If it's owned by indigenous companies in this country, definitely national interest is going to be put in place. And we can, in one way or the other, be able to regulate the supply chain of this particular industry. And that is what we've been talking about, that the supply chain of different industries, especially the food industry, the agriculture sector, it needs to be addressed. Major players in the country should come into the playing field. Governors the government should be able to give fundings to these guys, to entrepreneurs in these industries, stakeholders in the industry. If we can give enough fundings to them, definitely the supply chain is going to be regulated. And if we can regulate the supply chain, if things can be fixed, what do you expect? We're expecting that the prices of some of all these commodities we drop, because when we have much more players in the space, we have much more products. It's not more as scarce as it used to be, definitely, and we now have enough to be able to what is it called? We have enough to feed our people and even export. It's going to trickle down on the price of this particular commodity, and that is what we've been talking about. Ambassador Alphonsus Inyang has warned that foreign involvement could reduce Nigerians to low-wage laborers, apart from the availability. Yang also advocates for Nigerians to manage primary production while foreigners engage in the downstream activities like processing. He has also suggested that adopting Indonesia's core and plasma outgrower system to distribute wealth more equitably. He's also emphasized the importance of enhancing local economic development and protecting rural communities. Because some of all these communities where we have oil palm plantations, some of all these communities has to be developed. Because these communities are in the business of feeding the entire country. And that is the way to go. We need to make sure we address these issues. If we don't address it as a people, it's definitely going to be difficult for us to be able to regulate what happens in all these sectors, especially the agri sector. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very much welcome to the Business Hour. If you're just joining us, we're going on a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be addressing what NCC, Nigeria Communications Commission, what they have said, that data consumption, regarding data consumption. They've said that the telcos are not to be blamed for data depletion. You recharge your phone and you load up your data, and in just one day, it has finished, or 1 month, it has finished. What NCC has come out to say is that the telcos are not to be blamed, and that we should blame apps on our phone and perhaps other background apps that are functioning when our phones are in default mode. When we come back from the short break, we're going to be addressing these issues.
Catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that tick, the trends. Let's let you in on why they are trending. From politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs. Hashtag on Voice of the People Television. Giving you an insight to everything and everyone Nigeria is talking about. Showing on VOP TV. 10 p.m. Monday to Friday. Hashtag if it's trending, we bring it on.
Just picture a regular Nigerian youth frustrated with rapid data depletion, only to learn that the real culprit might be hidden apps and malwares, not the telecom companies. And it looks like that is what NCC has come out to say, Nigeria Communications Commission. They've come out and they've made a bold statement saying that the telcos are not to be blamed for what is happening regarding data depletion, because a lot of Nigerians are saying that we get our phones recharged, we load up on data, and in 1 week, 1 month data has been exhausted. Or in 2 days, 1 week data has been exhausted. So there needs to be an investigation that needs to be carried out regarding how data are being depleted across the length and breadth of Nigeria. But NCC has come and it looks like they're really backing the telcos. NCC exonerates telecom companies from allegations of data theft, identifies background apps, automatic updates, location services, ads, roaming charges, malware, and excessive usage as key factors. So if you're listening to me and you're surprised, why is it that when I recharge, for instance, I recharge from the yellow network or the green network, on the blue network, on the purple network, either of them, and when you're done recharging, let's say you do like 10 gig, and in 1 week, 10 gig has been exhausted, what NCC is saying that it's not, you can't be blaming the yellow, the green, and the red telcos. You can only blame your phone. And when you blame your phone, the NCC is talking about ads that are on your phones, location services that are turned on, roaming charges, malware, excessive usage, and automatic updates. So sometimes you have automatic updates on your phone and you don't know that is that particular automatic update that keeps updating and is consuming your data. Or sometimes you have background apps that are turned on. And the best way to go about it is that sometimes you might want to go in the business of putting on your data saving mode. But that in itself, a lot of Nigerians are saying that is not even saving data. And NCC is highlighting subscriber complaints about rapid data depletion, often blaming service providers, because a lot of Nigerians have been in the business of blaming the service providers. NCC also advises users to monitor data usage, disable background data, and turn off automatic updates. There's a lot of, they also suggest connecting to Wi-Fi and upgrading to larger data plans. But if you ask me, I don't think this is the solution to the problem. Connecting to larger data plan doesn't solve the problem of data depletion. So it needs to be investigated. Why should data meant for 1 month be depleted in 1 week? Or why should data meant for 1 week be depleted in 1 day? So that needs to be investigated. You call a data plan unlimited, but they get exhausted. So is it an English problem or a lack of customer service? An English problem or operations problem from the telcos? I think this needs to be further investigated. Not just putting a blanket covering and saying that we are exonerating the telcos. As much as we're telling the users to make sure they turn on their background app, turn off their background app, and also turn off automatic updates, also watch the way you use your data. You should also tell the telcos. There's a lot of fishy things happening behind the scenes that needs to be investigated. How can you call a particular data plan 1 month and you get exhausted in 1 week? Or you call a particular data plan 1 week data and you get exhausted in 1 month? I think those are the big questions. And for no reason should data be as expensive as it is. They're also directing the mobile network operators to conduct independent audits on their billing systems for transparency. And this is where we should really be focused on. We should conduct independent audits on how they bill, on their billing systems, just for the sole purpose of transparency. If I'm using 1 gigabyte of data, I should be able to know how long 1 gigabyte of data can take me with my own bespoke consumption rate. Not just coming up with a blanket covering and saying that you exonerate the telcos. Everyone should be investigated. The users, the merchants, and the middlemen. Everyone, including the regulators. Because right now, we're becoming a data-driven economy. We're becoming a digital economy as a nation. We have lots of Nigerians who are working from home. We have lots of Nigerians who are content creators. We have Nigerians who are in the Fortune 500 companies, Nigerians who are working across the length and breadth of the world, and they're making use of internet. Even those who are not working, they're getting entertained using the internet. So transparency has to be put on the front burner, whereby we understand how this data is being consumed. That is the work of the regulators. Regulators like the NCC, not just coming out and making a bold statement and exonerating the telcos. Let's move on to some other stories. You know what they always say when two billionaires are having some misunderstanding? You know what they say? The grass ends up suffering. But this time around, we're seeing billionaire Femi Otedola and Jim Ovia. They've taken their issues out of court. They've reached out to out-of-court settlement because Femi Otedola took Zenith Bank to court regarding some issues. Envision a boardroom where two business magnates, Femi Otedola and Jim Ovia, shake hands to settle their differences, highlighting the power of dialogue over conflict. Femi Otedola reaches an out-of-court settlement with Zenith Bank. The settlement ends a legal dispute escalating in Federal High Court. Followed high-level discussions between Otedola and Zenith Bank's founder, Jim Ovia. Otedola's lawsuit involved issues involved issues relating to his companies, including Xenon Petroleum and Gas. The Federal High Court dismissed the case following a notice of discontinuance from the plaintiffs, highlighting the effectiveness of alternative dispute resolution in corporate conflicts. So they've taken it out of court and they've settled. They're about to settle amicably. Perhaps what I always say: when two elephants are fighting, the grass ends up suffering. So who knows if this legal proceedings, if it continues, it might affect the workers. It might affect the balance sheets of two businesses because it literally affects the operations of a particular company if that company ends up going to court every now and then settling issues. But right now that we're seeing the two billionaires having a warm handshake over an out-of-court settlement regarding the dispute regarding Xenon Petroleum and Gas. Let's move on to some other stories regarding AI adoption. We're going on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be addressing what is happening. LinkedIn offering 29 free courses to beginner AI and to Nigerians. 29 free beginner courses to Nigerians. You're going to find out about that because now is the time where you need to upskill yourself as a Nigerian because it's becoming tough out there. And so what can you do? How can you upskill yourself? How can you make sure you become up to date with your respective discipline? And how can you take advantage of the current artificial intelligence revolution that is currently hitting the length and breadth of different industries? These and many more are the conversations we're going to have when we come back from the short break. This is the Business Hour.
Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Tuesday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority.
Imagine a young professional eagerly taking online AI courses, unlocking new career opportunities, and staying ahead in the digital age. LinkedIn offers 29 free beginner-level AI courses to help individuals integrate AI into their professional activities. So if you're listening to me, the reason why we decided to bring this is to make sure that a lot of Nigerians upskill themselves because AI is literally disrupting industries. And it looks like about 300 million jobs are going to be lost in the next 5 years. And if care is not taken, you just might be part of the casualties. And how can you stay ahead? I always say this, that AI isn't going to take over your jobs. People who use AI are the ones that are literally going to take over your jobs. And so you need to plug yourself, position yourself, upskill yourself. Courses cover fundamental concepts like machine learning, neural network, and deep learning. As a matter of fact, it is free of charge. I understand that a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people also always have an issue when it has to do with when something is free of charge. But as a matter of fact, you want to give it a try. Go to LinkedIn, get access to some of all these courses. Over 130 advanced AI courses also available for further skill enhancement. Courses like Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, Open AI API, Building Assistant, provide practical insight into how to navigate your way around this current AI revolution that is hitting different industries. The initiative is literally aimed to boost AI literacy and skills globally, including Nigeria. And so you want to boost your AI literacy and skills so that you can plug in yourself to get jobs at home and abroad. Who knows? You can be working from home, earning in FX. It's cold outside, as a matter of fact. It's really cold outside. How do I mean by that? Look at what inflation is, 33.95%. Food inflation is 40.6%. If you look at what food inflation is, look at what headline inflation is. And that is the least you can get it. Some food items as high as 100%. Go to the market, try and price your spaghetti or buy staple foods. You go to the malls and you find out how expensive things are. Purchasing power keeps depleting. And so in the days of turmoil, days like these are the days where you need to sit back, have a deep thought as to how you're going to position yourself for this revolution that is hitting the airwaves, especially the AI revolution. And how can you position yourself? By upskilling. One, upskilling yourself. Upskilling yourself. If you need to transition from one industry to another, then this is the time for you to do that. We had a global reset at a point in time during COVID. A lot of people had to transition because of how much their industry was being hit. And right now, we're seeing the same thing. But this revolution is happening with tech, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, disrupting different industries. A lot of people losing their jobs. Not necessarily because their employers are bad people, but because the employers are looking for a much more efficient way to reduce cost and increase efficiency. And if you want to reduce cost and increase efficiency, AI is your go-to guy. And that is why you're seeing that if there is any time that you need to position yourself, learn how to use artificial intelligence, learn how to build machine learning and product, learn how to use machine learning to your advantage, there is no better time but now. The significant job growth projected in AI-related fields, emphasizing the importance of these educational resources. And like I said, no better time to position yourself for this current tech revolution that is hitting different industries. It's not just the tech world. It's hitting the oil and gas sector, hitting the media sector, as a matter of fact. It's hitting the writing sector. It's hitting the manufacturing sector. Manufacturers are looking for machines that can use machine learning to be able to make their jobs and their work rates much more efficient. Look at what is happening to schools in the education sector as well. Some teachers are literally being threatened because of AI. Because what they can teach, it looks like AI can do 10 times better. And some entrepreneurs are beginning to think about going the AI route. That's why I was seeing the global superpowers talking about the fact that regulation has to be brought to the front burner because it looks like jobs are going to be lost. A lot of people are going to be out of jobs because of this AI revolution. And that is why we're seeing regulatory framework that is being built to be able to make sure some of all these excesses are being checkmated. Because if it's not, it's going to be cold and they're definitely going to be tough for a lot of workers. Let's move on to what is happening. Power outage hits Ghana and other African countries as Nigeria gas disruption lingers. And here is it. It's so funny. Imagine this. You have a family and you've not paid your school fees. But despite the fact that you've not paid your school fees, your father hasn't paid your school fees. He's paying the school fees of your neighbor. How would you feel? He's paying the school fees of your neighbor. What do they say? Charity literally begins at home. And it looks like the Ghana literally make use of our gas to be able to run their power plant. And right now that we're seeing the gas supply being disrupted, especially in Nigeria, it's affecting Ghana, our neighboring country. It's literally affecting them. Significant power outage affecting parts of Ghana and other West African countries due to gas supply disruptions from Nigeria. The West African Gas Pipeline Company Limited, WAPCO, announces maintenance work by a Nigerian gas producer. The maintenance leads to a substantial reduction in gas volumes, impacting consumers in Ghana, Togo, and Benin Republic. Several cities experiencing blackouts. Ghana Grid Company Limited and Electricity Company of Ghana manage load shedding. WAPCO assures normal operations will resume post-maintenance. It also highlights the critical dependence on Nigerian gas supply and broader implications for the region. But here is it. We're literally suffering from epileptic power supply, but at the same time, we're supplying the gas that is used to develop another country's power sector. You see how, you see the oxymoron in that. It is quite ironic how we are the ones supplying the gas Ghana make use of to be able to power some parts of their country. But we've not fixed ours. We've been talking about, it's been a long time coming. If we can fix the issue of power in this country, trust me, it is one of the fundamental issues affecting businesses in Nigeria. The way it will have a positive outlook in the Nigerian entrepreneurship landscape or business landscape in general, if we can fix power. We're not talking about the Band A thing. We're not talking about the discrimination that has been brought into the power sector. Some Nigerians are more Nigerian than other Nigerians, which is not supposed to be. That is anti-constitutional. You can't talk about segregation, saying some people will have 20 hours of power, others will have 6 hours of power. Band A, Band B. What are we banding? These things need to be addressed. We can't keep on segregating Nigerians. We are one people. And so you can't come up with an ideology saying that some Nigerians are better than other Nigerians. No. Everyone is entitled to having an uninterrupted power supply in this country. Knowing fully well that we are one of the largest oil producers in Nigeria. We have the oil to keep our light bulb on for years, uninterrupted. But despite that, we're still suffering, and we've been in darkness since God knows when. So when are we going to fix this issue of power? There needs to be a state of emergency in the power sector. We are underserving Nigerians. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be addressing what is happening in the movie industry. The Nigerian box office poised to hit 10 billion naira in revenue by the end of 2024. The entertainment sector is one sector that has been doing Nigeria proud. You're going to find out about this when we come back from the short break. This is the Business Hour.
When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports and even entertainment. Join us weekdays 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Just picture the cinema halls packed with enthusiastic audiences enjoying blockbuster Nollywood and Hollywood films, driving the box office to record heights. Nigerian box office projected to achieve 10 billion naira in revenue by the end of 2024. The strong lineup of both Hollywood and Nollywood titles driving the growth. Film One Entertainment attributes the expected 42% increase to new cinema openings, higher ticket prices, foreign investment, and an expanding middle class. Noteworthy Nollywood releases from stars like Funke Akindele, Toyin Abraham, Hollywood hits like Dune, Dune 2, and Inside Out 2 anticipated to boost revenues. The Q1 2024 ticket sales reached 2.2 billion naira, marking a 46% year-on-year increase. It looks like a lot has been happening in the movie industry. And also imagine the excitement in theaters as new blockbuster movies hit the screens, reflecting the cinema industry's rapid growth and the public's increasing appetite for film entertainment. Nigeria's cinema industry reports significant growth in the Q1 of 2024. Ticket sales totaled 2.25 billion naira, 46% increase from the previous year. And we're seeing all of this happening in the likes of biopic, some biopics like the Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, Furiosa, and the Mad Max saga. We're seeing all these things happening. All these movies literally breaking glass ceilings, trailblazing the industry, and